Hello there, you're listening to Thoughts and Nuts podcast. Hi there, it's been so long since the previous episode, which I find irony because I wanted to reach 50 episodes before the year ends and it's already October, going November. Yeah, it's already November when I upload this. But yeah, happy Halloween, first and foremost, if you actually celebrate Halloween. I mean, it's a festival. It's not really much of a. I don't know what I want to talk about. Anyways, how's life, everyone? I hope you're doing great, and I hope I'm doing great, which is a lie. I'm not doing that great mentally. Okay, I'm just exaggerating. My phone just cracked. That's why. I was about to set my phone as a camera for this podcast. I was like, I wanted to record, and then for some goddamn reason, my phone slipped out of my hands, and then it fell. And before it fell, I have to say, my phone had a phone case. I had what do you call pakai phone case, yeah, pakai phone case, but yet it did not save my phone from not cracking, which is even irony because the phone case is supposed to save your phone from not having your screen crack, and that happened, which is very good because it fell like not even 30 centimeters from the ground. It just fell and then it cracked, and I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, that happened. That is why I'm a bit so I had when that happened, I had a good 1 hour contemplating about three things. Number one, should I replace a new screen? I mean, it's cheaper. Or should I just buy a new phone? Because the last time I repaired my goddamn phone screen was 8 months ago. Legit 8 months ago. Like, tepat, exactly 8 months ago. And I'm like, is this a sign for me to buy a new phone? But at the same time, that's not the sign. That's not a good sign, because if this phone cracks, meaning that even if I do buy a new phone, it's gonna crack. Also, that's the thing. Or there is another thing that I was contemplating was, should I just wait another 2 months until and just like not use my phone, use my laptop only? Like, you can use Telegram and WhatsApp. I mean, my phone's not dead. It's just I can't see shit from it, which would be very dangerous, I guess. But at the same time, still okay because I realized that I the only time that I use my phone is just browsing, scrolling Twitter, Instagram. What else did I do? Because most of the time I'm just working. Yeah, open After Effects, Premiere Pro, and then just edit stuff, do stuff. I mean, at least I'm doing stuff, and then I get paid for it. But yeah, should what should I do? I mean, even if the safest route would be just repair my screen and then save more money and then buy a new phone. Which I'm not sure if that's the right route. And if you're saying that, I mean, you're working already, so you can buy a new iPhone. Yes, I can already, but if I do buy a new phone with what's in my account right now, um, it's irrational because when you want to buy something, you do not spend 100% of what you have. That's the thing with money. You need to at least save 50%, not 50%, pretty much more than that, just to be safe on emergency. But yeah, That's that. I don't know. Nah, I'll just need to sleep first, and then I'll see where my head and my thought goes. Like, yeah, I don't know. So, what's next? What did I want to talk about anyway? I don't want to talk about mental health. Oh, I want to talk about one thing. Opening up. Yeah, that it. I think the thing I want to talk about opening up in general. I mean, it can be anything. It can be from opening up about your problems, your interests, your hobbies, or even opening up about how's your day. Yeah, it's funny how it's hard for people to open up, but some people can just open up easily, like, hey, how are you? And then they just like started blah 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 blah, blah, talking about their day, their month, their whatever thing they're like me, just like you just poked a balloon filled with water, and then they just like yeah. Why did I want to talk about this? Yeah. Oh yeah, I had a breakdown. Like, I got tired, not from work, from life in general. I just got like, fuck this and fuck that. I want to be away from everyone. So I didn't open up about anything. I just stayed away, just functioned normally, and then kept everything inside. Yeah, there's a reason why. Because I'm a person where when something happens, I just I will keep it inside. I mean, once again, it's not about work because I'm learning a lot of things at my workplace. Like, I can open up easily. Like, yeah, if I have a problem with this project, what should I do? And it's like, at first I was like, I'll just try to salvage something that I have instead of asking for help. And now I'm like, um, does someone has this work file? Or this work file, when it's shared, I cannot open it. Can you resend it? Yeah, I'm able to open up professionally in a working space. However, in a personal level, I'm unable to do so. I mean, some people can do, but most of the people or anyone lah, we don't just open up. We don't just open up like easily. And if I were to share one reason why, is because the person listening is not actually listening to my problems. There are two types of people, or three, probably more. I have no idea. I'll just list out what's closest to me. Number one is that they they give feedbacks more than they listen. And that's the worst thing that you can do when you're listening to people, or whenever they're opening up about their problems. How would you feel when you go to a psychiatrist or a counselor or anything that relates to that profession, and you're like, sir, I have this problem. Oh, you shouldn't be like that. You should be like this. Oh, you're just not strong enough. Technically, that's just the worst thing for the person facing a problem, to listen to such sentence or phrase like, you're not strong enough, you're not religious enough, or why are you so weak, you need to be stronger, or don't stick to the past, move forward. I mean, that is where people really need to understand. If you want people to open up, you need to be an active listener. Like, listen active. Like, there's a difference between listening, like, yeah, and just listening without answering anything. I mean, depending on the person lah, because whenever I try to open up about problems, I prefer the other person to just understand what I'm feeling at the moment and no feedbacks, because I know that the next thing to happen is that I'm going to be okay, because it feel I'm refreshed, like I feel relieved from this problem that I've been keeping inside. But yeah, the closest thing that I can point out is that uh, whoever is listening, they love giving feedbacks first. And even though in active listening, there are things like you need to, like, answer a bit, but not really in a long sentence. Like, you know, you reply with like, oh, betul lah, yeah, true. Those kind of, gossip-ish kind of moments. Yeah, that is why we open up to friends easily rather than to people who are close to us, or even we are able to open up to strangers better than close friends sometimes, which is very weird, because I don't know, if I think I open up to strangers better rather than people that I know. That is me lah, because I would talk to people if I won't really talk about heavy things, but I can, like, if, like, for instance lah, I hang out at a coffee shop cover and then suddenly a random person wants to sit at the same table. Who knows? Very random situation. And they're like, hey, can I sit here? Yeah, can, go ahead. Because the place is crowded. Who knows? Random situation. And then started talking. The other person starts opening up about random stuff like, how's your day? Yeah, it's good. How about you? And that is when the exchange of, like, my life is kind of bad. Yeah. And then the reason why is that there is no personal attachment to that stranger. Even that stranger, when they open up lah, it depends on the person lah. Some people can't do that, some people are able. And probably I'm on the minority. I guess it's a minority side where you can open up to strangers. I don't know. I don't want to divide minority or majority. We're just different. Nah, we're just different. And oh yeah, I'll just go where was I again? But the reason why some people are able to open up about, like, personal stuff to strangers is because there is no personal attachment. Like, I know you're just a random stranger, and if I talk about this, you won't be offended. You won't really snitch on me. You won't really, like, start giving lectures and etc. You just start to empathy, like, empathize, like, this person is having a bad day, also I feel that. See, that's empathy. And also the reason why whenever we open up to people who are close to us, yeah, once again, it's just the other way around. There's a personal attachment. That person might say, might snitch on us, like, oh, and they probably like, snitch on us to our family members or something when we never wanted that to happen. Yeah, That is why. But some people are able to open up to their family members is because they are used to do so. And that is not a problem. Some people don't have that upper um upper what do you call, not specialty, it's like some people don't have that lah. Some people don't have that experience of opening up with family members or close friends. If I were to open up more personally, it would be because I've been more alone rather than sticking up to people and sharing a lot more. I mean, I do share my stuff with closest people that I know lah, that I trust, because I know that there's a mutual a relationship. For instance, I have this one friend. I'm not sure if I should really mention, but then yeah, the reason why I can open up to this person is because whenever this person has like something happening, I would listen, and in exchange I would actually talk about mine like in another day like, because there's that mutual understanding that, or just like I trust you. That's the word. I trust you with my problems, for you to just listen and be there to listen and understand that I'm not doing okay. Yeah. And also to like, I think it's because if some people can relate to this lah, like they are able to open up to friends or strangers more than they can open up to family members, is because probably they had a strict family rule, a strict life, childhood-ish, or even they have been very independent from the very first beginning. I mean, not since baby lah. That's very weird. There's no way that you can be at that unless you're Tarzan or something. Yeah. Mm, and also, it's pretty much another reason why some people are unable to open up is because of trauma. Whenever, and it's not really about, I mean, trauma is a very generic thing. Like it can be from what they faced or what they were taught and etc. It's for, if I were to go like each and every like that I can understand, is one thing. If it's a trauma from experience, it would be, okay, we're going into like family members. I'm not talking about myself, because I've known like friends and people that have a hard time opening up, and the reason why I know the reason why also is because the family is kind of like have a strict rule to everything. I mean, I'm not saying mine is okay. The strict part is when, when you grow up, like schools and tests, whenever they fail or not even get A's or B's, they will get punished. That's like kind of strict in that term. I mean, it can be. Some people might think like, oh, that's not traumatic enough. Yes, true. If I were to give another example, it would be like something. For instance, person A had a problem, faced a problem, and person A asked for family help. And what in response was, why are you feeling so? Like, you know, they disregarded that the fact that, oh, I'm having a problem, but not really me, sorry. Person A is having a problem, but yet the family members be like, why? You shouldn't be so. Like, you know, like ignoring the fact that person A is unable to solve it on their own. And if it happened during like childhood, like that's going to leave a mark, a traumatic mark. Like, I can vouch for that. I've been there. I mean, yeah. And also feedbacks, childhood traumatic feedbacks. I don't know lah. I'm going to stray off a bit, but there was one time my mom had an accident. Like, the car went like rolling, etc. Skidded like on a rainy road, on a wet road. And my mom, I don't think she was hospitalized, but then she had to wear a cast on her neck because her spine or neck kinda knee, because what happened was, when that happened, when the car like pusing, you know, whenever you're in an accident, one fact that you need to know, like anyone lah, if you're listening, if you got into a car accident and your car is like all over the place, or like rolled like 1080, 1080 pula. What is 1080? 180 apa 180 or 360, and then your car is upside down, do not move, please. That is one fact. I don't have a driving license, but I know that you do not move. Like, let the ambulance or anyone save you. But my mom, I mean, she didn't know. It wasn't her fault. She was like, oh my god, the car's going to explode. That's why she went out of the car. And that is where her spine, I guess, or neck kind of went like crack, and had to wear a cast. And till now, it's not really saving. Like, it's not recovering fast because she's getting old. But at least she can still walk. That's one thing. But yeah, that happened. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story that I'm trying to like stray off a bit is, there was one time, if any of my family member or auntie listening to this, I hope you guys know that. There was one time it was supposedly to be a family day, like with my auntie and uncle, cousin, nephew, and everyone. Since my mom got into an accident, so they changed venue to my house. That's fine. And the thing that they were planning was like present exchange, gift exchange. And my family member did not have the time to buy gifts to do that. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm going out for a moment. It was during the event, and I was the photographer. And I had to go through like 2 malls in Kajang Bangi. Bangi. Like, just go Mr. DIY or something and then just buy something cheap. At least there's something. So the moment that I got back, this is where it just like, you know what? I hate you throughout my whole life already. Because this one auntie really legit said this. Where were you? Why aren't you taking photos? And I'm like, I was buying gifts for the gift exchange bit that everyone wanted to do. Like, they really wanted to do. I mean, no one told me like, oh, if there's no presents, it's okay. No one told that, because we had like, oh, you're going to uh, exchange gifts with this person and this person. So there's no like, oh, you're stuck in a corner where you should be doing it. So you can, I mean, there's no one to consult. Like, I don't have the time to buy. Is it okay to not have it? No one said anything. And I was, my, the fact that I'm the one, like, apa, like my mom got in an accident, and my family member pretty much can be like categorized similar victim of like, okay, kita kena jaga, we need to take care of my mom, like anything like that. But the audacity for that auntie to say, where were you, why aren't you taking photos? And I'm like, oh my god. And guess what, if you're listening, if that auntie is listening, I hate you throughout my whole life till death. I don't care. Because why? How dare you? And even if you say sorry or something, sorry does not sweeten my tea, honey. No thanks. I'm already messed up in the head. I don't want to give people more leeway with how they want things to do, because I've always given people leeways, like, hey, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, when I'm not really okay with anything. Yeah. That is a very straight off story, but yeah. But that is where I know, like, that is where traumatic, that is where people should be more careful with their words. But then sometimes whenever I say that to myself, I take it to extreme where, okay, I'm just going to shut up about everything. And that is what I always do. Because whenever I open up to people about me, sometimes it just turns out aggressive. Like, I'm pointing out at everyone, which people really should know. When people are having problems, like they've kept up a lot of things, their mind is not in a good place. Like they want to like go away, like isolate themselves. That is probably not first phase, one of a symptom. Not really symptom, more like one of the things that people do. Second would be they start eating a lot, or they start not eating because they're thinking a lot. And other than that, it would be like more, other than isolate and appetite related actions or behaviors, there are a lot of things. Sometimes you just need to understand, like, something that is out of normal. Like, this person is doing normal things, and then suddenly, oh, why aren't you doing the same thing as usual? This is where you need to differentiate. Is that person just trying to change, or that person is just having something going on? And if you really, really want to venture into their thoughts, their messy thoughts, you either do these two things. Number one, you let them be. Because if you can't handle it, do not handle it. Number two is, if you want to handle it, if you want to listen only. And understand that it's not pointed at the one who is listening. It's just what is happening in their head, and they've been panting up, and they don't know where to point it. Like, who is at fault? And and one of not similar, like something that people like me, or I myself, I don't think there are people like me, I'm just too complicated. I mean, even if there are, Here's one thing. Whenever we're facing a problem, I mean, if you can relate, that's good. If you can't, then try to understand there are people like this. Is whenever there's problems, they do not know where to divert like that problem, like the cause of it. Sometimes it's a mutual, like this person is at fault. I'm the one who is facing it also is at fault. However, probably because they were taught that way to take the blame 100% to themselves. And that is where people can like isolate themselves and just start, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm just going to like, bertaubat, not really bertaubat, reflect on it. And yeah, it's a complicated thing lah for people who if you have people around you who loves penting up problems to a point where they start going haywire and then aggressive, not really aggressive lah. The reason why sometimes they get aggressive is just because, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is I have no freaking idea, but opening up is not easy to people who always like pent up things, and also to the ones who wants to listen to problems. You need to understand that it's not personal. It's not personally attacking if you're like family related problems like it. It's not always about like, oh, this person is that wrong, this person is wrong, this person, or anyone lah, any problems even with friends it's not really like personally like, oh, you were very 100% at wrong. No, it's just, I don't know, it's complicated lah kan. I don't know either. Yeah, this is why if I were to be wholeheartedly honest, sometimes it's better for people who, like me personally, that I'm not asking for any other people to do so, is whenever I have problems, I think it's better for me just venting it up, like personal stuff. Like if it's work stuff, I can open up because I don't want to trouble any other people. But if it's like personal thoughts, I would be like, it's better if I keep it to myself, because I don't think others would understand better than I do. I mean, there will, or there should, or there is. It's just that we don't know, or I myself don't know if you can handle it. And the reason why that thought crosses my mind is because I know because it happened before. I opened up and it didn't go well. Like, it did not solve anything. I mean, this one goes to anyone who I opened up lah. But then I'm not sure lah. I'm not pointing people out last night. I'm not pointing people out. It's just, I think I'm just messed up in the head already, to a point where I don't know where to start opening up. Yeah. And if you know there are people like who has like 10 years worth of problems, I'm not sure how you can handle it. Try to earn their trust first, I guess. Yeah, I think it's the trust that you need. If you really care, try to earn the trust first. The trust of like, because I think this kind of like, if there are people like me, like, mostly they are introverts and probably there are extroverted people who loves keeping things inside also, probably because they're very outgoing. They cover their extroverted side to cover up their problems. That must be a thing. That should be a thing. But yeah, if someone that lah is like having troubles opening up, or they have like this traumatic event that keeps on haunting them till now, if you really care and you want to listen, and you're like, earn their trust first. When I say earn their trust is when, like, I'm not trying to say like 100%, okay, you can trust me 100% on everything. With the specific trust that I'm trying to like I'm asking for is that I can, for instance, I can trust you with my problems, that you won't leak it, nor you take it personally, because it's just me having a bad day. Yeah. That is like, yeah. I don't know where I'm going, but yeah, I guess that ended well, I think. And once again, I'm not pointing out people. If you're listening, it's not you. Pretty much, you're okay. If I do talk about my problems, pretty much I trust you. If I don't, then just try to understand that you don't really have to take it personally. It just, and also some people, as much as I try to put the responsibility on the listener, there is one thing that, for instance, I'm just putting up myself as the subject easily, so that I'm not pointing people out. Whenever I have problems, I prefer to get like a good 1 week alone. But when I say alone, it's not that I'm trying to isolate myself depends. If it's very bad, then I'll isolate myself physically. But then, if it's like macam mana, if that happens, I just need time. I just need time to calm down. Because I know that whenever I open up during, like, for instance, there is a reason why I put 1 week as my like cushion time or cool down time, is because if I do open my mouth during that 1 week of cool down, the thing that comes up from my mouth is just pure poison. Like, it hurts. Like, I'll start pointing people, because whenever you say things out of anger, it just, this is a general knowledge or understanding. Whenever you open up, when you're heating, like, not heating, like you're angry, probably half of it is not true, because you're not thinking right. That is why I keep things to myself dulu at first for 1 week, and then if I'm feeling okay, I'll decide if it was a good problem or it's a problem that needs to be solved. But yeah, if some people have different cooldown time, because I'm a very simple person. I like number 5. I like things in half, like 550, 500. Whenever I charge people, like, how much do you charge me? $50, $100. Those simple number that I can just like understand. And me as a person, as much as I want to go 1 month of isolation, some people cannot understand that. So I keep at a middle ground agreement, which is 1 week. It's kind of long, but 1 week is actually short for me. And if I'm saying 1 month, upper 1 week is short, that means 3 days is even worse. That is me lah. Some people, once again, some people have different way of coping a problem when they can't open up. Some people are able to like just open up like instantly, like there's a problem, okay, there's a problem, and then they cool down for 1 hour and then they start talking because they don't want to drag it. Because, for instance, it's a professional environment. Once again, but when it comes to personal, it's never okay to open up in 1 hour or 2 days. This is a cry from my heart. Oh well, I don't know if I should upload this, but guess what? I'll just upload this one because there's no video, and I've been like delaying my goal of 50 episode till end of year. So yes, I'll just upload it no matter what. Yeah, I should do more of this because I open up to podcasts even better than straight to strangers. My hierarchy of opening up is like from the easiest, from hardest to easiest lah. Hardest to open up, family members, and then next would be friends, close friends, strangers, podcasts. Podcast is easier for me to open up, although it just goes up and down, where sometimes I think it's too personal, then I would just discard or delete that recording. Yeah. And yeah, I guess that is all from Zolimai's thoughts and knots. However, this time I want to try something new. I want to do a music recommendation kind of segment, so that I don't know, because I think that's a fun thing for me to do, and also at the same time it would just me being like a psychological nerd or just overthinking. It's just, I think if I do open up about my music tastes and just recommend music to people, it would be easier for me to open up to people in the future. Like in any terms, I want to start something easy first, which it would be music, because I think music, if you're opening up about your music taste, it kind of gets personal. That is why, that's me lah. I understand people through their music and music taste line, to be exact. And my music taste is just pretty much all over the place, because I know that I am indeed all over the place. But yeah, I want to try this one first. Music recommendation of the week, BBHF Home Run. This one came out recently, and I don't know, it's just uplifting to me, to a point where I would just start like slightly headbang, like, yeah, it's uplifting. I would say that. I won't go into meanings because I would leave that to the ones who are listening and reading the lyrics lah, understanding the lyrics, because it's up to you, because different people interpret things differently. But yeah, it's a good song. I would actually listen to it every morning before I start working, because it just gets me like pumped up or like happy, so that I don't get depressed. Like work. It's more like yeah, work. It's not really a very like DJ or trap kind of music. It's just band with uplifting words, uplifting lyrics, and uplifting melody and guitar riffs. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully I mean, no forcing, not forcing, but do tune in, not do tune in, do listen to that song lah. BBHF Home Run. So yeah, I guess that is all from Zulma's Thoughts and Knots. Before I end, follow my Insta, either or Zulmali or Thoughts and Knots Podcast. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you've done it, pretty much share it to people. I'm just asking for you to like and share, but if you like and subscribe, I'm just asking you to like and subscribe, but if you've done that, share it to people. And also suggest me things to talk about, because sometimes I don't really have ideas like what would be a good topic. I mean, I do have, but sometimes it just turns out to be heavy, which I don't really want that to happen. So other than that, if you think like suggesting topics is like, but I want to talk about that also, if you want to be a guest, then just DM me, or just be like, hey Zol, I want to talk about this in your podcast. Oh, okay. You want to be a guest? Yes. Then hey, I'm open for it. If you're like, what's in it for me? Well, I think you can enjoy the idea of podcasts, or if you have things to like promote, like yourself, your product, your brand, or your project, then hey, my podcast is open for that. I won't charge anything, because in exchange I get to do an episode. For now. If it's get big, if my podcast gets big, then that's another story. So yes, that is all from Zulmali Thoughts and Knots Podcast. It has been Zulmali. Bye bye.